Well, welcome back to Just In. I'm your host, Adriana Lamar, again here with Sammie Wells and Tommy Scott, eating some Oreos, I believe. This week, J.J. Watt signed to the Cardinals and reportedly is very happy about the weather right now. Do you think he made a mistake knowing what the weather's going to be in, probably less than 60 days here?
And I'm thinking the energy bill for air conditioning his home, gym, garage, pool, arena, sport court, and all that. I think
Right.
I think he'll manage,
He can
right?
afford it. Yeah.
That's one of the things with Arizona where you're kind of in a spot where weather's really irrelevant, considering they play indoors, and it's actually kind of cool. If you've never been there and you don't know, everybody should know this at this point. Arizona can actually move their whole damn field outside and then bring it back in for the game. It's really kind of cool, right? It's
I
like
think I've seen that, right? So the
who
sun can
gets
hit
the
the
back?
grass and,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the time everybody else is putting in these retractable domes. And they're like, we got one for you. Watch this.
Because we're not going outside.
Yeah, it was hot out there. Um, but I don't. I mean, weather-wise, how much different is this from Houston? I mean, the last time I was in Houston, it was hot and humid.
Yeah, he
Walking
lost his
outside was like,
there. So,
whoa. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. I haven't really seen the answers to my questions about why it would be the Cardinals. I mean, the money factor is there, but the Cardinals aren't exactly. I mean, the Cardinals aren't a bad team. They really aren't. But they're not. I wouldn't automatically write them a contender. Even with J.J. Watt, I would say they're a team that's on the development side. And maybe, I mean, this could have been a matter of J.J. Watt saying, like, look, I'm tired of being in Houston. I want to go somewhere else. This is the best offer I get, right? Because again, you're in a spot where you look at a lot of other teams that are in that near contender spot. They don't really need anybody there, right? They've kind of got what they want. So, is that JJ Watt is still, he's still JJ Watt. He's still phenomenal. And maybe he sees something in the and knows something there that we don't, right? He's a much closer to the game than we are. And, to a certain degree, I could see a situation where having that more senior leadership turns the Cardinals into that team that can take that next step. Um, or maybe, hey, we talked about this one earlier. JJ Watt goes to the Cardinals because he says, you know what? The last big thing in my career I need to do is sack Russell Wilson more times in a season. So now I can play him twice a year guaranteed. Probably not. That's probably not what's going on. But it does bring some interesting things to the division because when you're going to Arizona, not really concerned too much about their defensive line. Just be out there, and it's not your primary concern now. So now it's something else that you have to worry about. I think it does change what the Niners, the Rams, and the Seahawks have to do because now you've got tried and true in Arizona. So it will be impactful. Um, I just don't, I couldn't say that he's chasing. I mean, given that he went to Arizona, I would not say that he's chasing championships. I would say that he's chasing a change in venue. He wants to do something else somewhere else. Or if you give him the fact that you have J.J. Watt, I'm out. Deshaun Watson, I want out. It could be one of those where there's water getting into the ship, it's on fire, and Biden has stabbed it, and it's just folks going, you
Everyone's
know
looking
what?
for a lifeboat.
Yeah, it's like I want out because I can see the writing on the wall. I see the handwriting on
It's
the
a
wall.
toxic work environment, and I refuse to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, and so it's what, I'm out. So that is something I can see, and it just be one of those words. You say, you know what, this team's giving me the best opportunity, and I think that there is potential here. There's absolutely potential there, but it's not. Well, we could say that they're not a contender, right? Let's say they're not a contender. Do we have any example of legendary players making a not a contender a Super Bowl champ? Have we seen anything like that in recent history? Anything like that? Have we seen any of that anywhere? because it sounds vaguely familiar. So I mean, there's that in there where it's like we can see that, and because even me, if this was last year for me, I'm like Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers, he's gonna get murdered. And he was by a bottle of tequila that looked like it was really good, and I really wanted to try a shot because, man, he looked like he was jacked up, something fierce, and people were getting mad at him. I'm like, dude, I win that many Super Bowls, and the last one being I go to a team that did nothing last year and I win one. Oh yeah, I'm going to be doing things in excess right there. I can guarantee you that one. So maybe
Well,
JJ Watt's after that. Maybe that's the big story next year. Imagine if next year we're looking at the NFC Championship and you got the Cardinals, Buccaneers, and you're like, I guess this is the new thing.
so he was asked during a press conference how far he thought the Cardinals were away from winning the Super Bowl, and his response was basically, you don't set your goal for the championship 4, 5, 6 down the road. You set it for this year. So, I mean, whether or not we think it's possible or not, that's the goal. That's what they're working towards, and that's what he wants to be there to help them with. But I agree, if he's chasing championships, this isn't the team. Not that he shouldn't still aim for it, right?
Well, okay, so but if we rewind the clock to the Cardinals, nobody would have said Kurt Warner going to the Cardinals is Kurt Warner chasing championships. Nobody would have said 7-9 is going to be in the Super Bowl, but it still happened. So, well, consider this one: Russell Wilson is somewhat at odds with the Seahawks. The Rams have new quarterback coming in. Stafford's he's we know what we're getting in Stafford, so it's kind of we'll see. Rams have had other issues besides just Gothic quarterback, right? And so thinking that Stafford's coming in solving that is not going to be the case. And the Niners, as we've seen, are either going to be like up here or they're going to be down here. There's nothing they do in between. It's either we're going to rock and roll or we're not. And he may have looked at it and said, you know what? I don't want to be in the NFC East because it's too close to home, so to speak. And you know what? The Cardinals are in a position where they could easily win that division.
We've had a chance over here. What do you think, Sam?
Honestly, I think he went for the money. When you say there's 23 million reasons to sign with the Cardinals, okay?
I mean, I would sign for that kind of money.
Hey, I give him a discount. I do it for like 6.
Right. Pennies on the dollar.
But I don't think honestly, he said that he believes in Kyler Murray and that Kyler Murray can take them to the promised land. And Kyler Murray is not a bad quarterback. He torched my team last year, so I can't say nothing about him. But I think this is a good move for Arizona that they get a defensive player that is. He's somewhat elite. He's still got some playing time in him, and a great move. And I'm happy that he was able to find a team. I thought he was going to go to Tampa because, hey, that is a proven team. They are the Super Bowl champs, and they would be a contender. With him, they would have been a favorite contender. I mean, what can you say? It's he's going to be playing with the 49ers, Rams, and the Seahawks. So depending how the Seahawks quarterback situation goes, but hey, it's a good division. It's going to be a competitive division with him there. He got D Hop there, so that's even going to boost the offense, give Kyler Murray more chances to be able to score touchdowns with him being on the defensive line. And great move. I mean, it's hot in Arizona. It's very hot in Arizona, but
Exact opposite of Minnesota, because I've been told that it gets cold in Minnesota.
It's funny. I was thinking Arizona should probably have a setup kind of like Minnesota, where you can go from building to building, like through tunnels and bridges and stuff like that, without actually going outside, but for the opposite reason, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean, and and I heard isn't there an arena in Scottsdale? Scottsdale arena's in
Yeah, it's on
Scottsdale.
it's not actually in Phoenix. It's out, but it's right there. I mean, it's like having an arena in Elk Grove instead of Sacramento. It's like big whoop. Walk across the street and you're in Sac.
Okay, so I mean, honestly, I heard Scottsdale is a great city, and I
It's
think he would
actually
enjoy
it's nice.
himself.
You roll, especially on the freeway. You look out there, the architecture or I don't know, whatever the design of the house is the way it looks like. It's a nice little place. Not quite as nice as Sedona, which you drive if you're coming from the south. You drive right by there to go up to Sedona. Sedona is really really nice, but it's not bad for suburbanites.
So I mean, he made a move that was good for him. You know, he left the Texans. They parted ways on, I guess, on good terms. So they let him go, and then he signed with a team that he wanted to be with. So yeah, you know, I thought he was going to go to the Green Bay Packers to help, you know, Aaron Rodgers, but you know, I don't blame him not to want to play in that code. So, and of
Yeah.
course, I thought maybe he would come to the Cowboys, but hey, he didn't. But whatever.
Here
I'm
we
just
go.
saying.
So
Next up,
you did mention something that is the big thing, and that is as much as we say, okay, what's JJ Watt up to, we do have to say, good job Arizona. And you definitely brought, you made a good buy, a great buy,
that's definitely.
definitely.
Awesome. Well, that I think wraps up our show for today.
Wiggity wiggity scratch, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to thank all our viewers for joining us today, as usual. And we will hit you next week. No, we won't hit you. We will hit you up. Yeah, something like that.
All right.
No violence here.